Kahala la Yahweh Bahasam Yahweh Sa Bahasam Kodash Barakati Yahweh Barakati Yahweh Sa Barakati Yahweh Barakati Yahweh Sa Barakati Yahweh Barakati Yahweh Sa the water Yahweh Bahasam Yahweh Sa Bahasam Kodash. Doble honrada a los apóstoles, a los ancianos de Yasharala, Great Millstone, Shalom a los escogidos. Ok, aquí tenemos un video de un locutor de radio americano. Ok, y el programa que él tiene ahí en el radio es de cristianismo, judaísmo mesiánico y cosas así. Y él dijo algo muy estúpido. Mira lo que él dice. Él hizo una pregunta estúpida.
Okay, so according to Genesis 17, God says that if you don't circumcise your son on the 8th day, you will be cut off from the people. So you're no longer an Israelite. So many of the people, almost everybody in the chart has no tradition of circumcising their sons on the 8th day through the centuries. So then they're all cut off. They can't be Israel.
I disagree.
Él pregunta que de acuerdo a Génesis 17, el Señor dice que el que no le hace la circuncisión a su hijo en el 8º día, que será cortado de Israel. Y él dice que nosotros, como nosotros decimos que somos israelitas, descendientes físicos de Israel, que a través de los siglos esa costumbre se ha dejado, y así que nosotros toditos no somos israelitas porque dejamos esa costumbre, estamos cortados de Israel. Ok, ahora el apóstol tocó el tema de que nosotros estamos bajo la gracia. Ok, y también el Zaquan Yashawamba, ok, él tocó ese tema de que estamos bajo la gracia y que no podemos seguir todas las leyes perfectamente, porque dijo Yahweh Shai que si tú rompes una de las leyes, tú estás culpable de romper toda la ley. Okay, hasta la ley más mínima, la ley más insignificante. Okay. Así que nosotros estamos en cautiverio y no podemos observar la ley perfectamente. Pero usando su propia lógica, yo voy a mostrar que él está equivocado. Okay. Que Génesis 17, versículo 24. Que era Abraham de edad de 99 años cuando circuncidó la carne de su prepucio. E Ismael su hijo era de 13 años cuando fue circuncidada la carne de su prepucio. En el mismo día fue circuncidado Abraham e Ismael su hijo, y todos los varones de su casa, el siervo nacido en casa, el comprado por dinero del extranjero, fueron circuncidados con él. Okay, 99 años es más allá del 8º día de tu nacimiento. Ok. Otro ejemplo. Éxodo capítulo 4, versículo 24. Y aconteció en el camino que en una posada le salió al encuentro Yahweh y quiso matarlo. Que Yahweh le envió un ángel. Entonces Séfora cogió un afilado pedernal y cortó el prepucio de su hijo y echólo a sus pies, diciendo, a la verdad tú me eres un esposo de sangre. Tú sabes, a las mujeres les gusta hablar disparate. A la verdad tú me eres un esposo de sangre. Así le dejó ir, y ella dijo, esposo de sangre a causa de la circuncisión. Entonces a Moisés como que se le olvidó, circuncidar su hijo, que ya había pasado del octavo día, pero el Señor le mostró misericordia cuando la mujer le hizo la circuncisión al bebé. ¿Ok? Otro caso. Josué, y esto después de que habían recibido la ley, porque ya Moisés había muerto. Que Josué capítulo 5, que versículo 2. Que en aquel tiempo Yahweh dijo a Josué, hazte cuchillos afilados y vuelve a circuncidar la segunda vez a los hijos de Israel. Y Josué se hizo cuchillos afilados y circuncidó a los hijos de Israel en el monte de los prepucios. Esta es la causa por la cual Josué los circuncidó. Todo el pueblo que había salido de Egipto, los varones, todos los hombres de guerra, habían muerto en el desierto por el camino, después que salieron de Egipto. Porque todos los del pueblo que habían salido estaban circuncidados, mas todo el pueblo que había nacido en el desierto por el camino, después que salieron de Egipto, no estaban circuncidados. Porque los hijos de Israel anduvieron por el desierto 40 años, hasta que toda la gente de los hombres de guerra que habían salido de Egipto fue consumida por cuanto no obedecieron a la voz de Yahweh, por lo cual Yahweh les juró que no les dejaría ver la tierra, de la cual Yahweh había jurado a su padre que nos la daría, tierra que fluye leche y miel. Y eso es porque ellos hicieron ese becerro de oro. Creo que fue un becerro, una vaca de oro. Ellos hicieron un ídolo de oro. Y los hijos de ellos que él había hecho suceder en su lugar, Josué los circuncidó, pues eran incircuncisos, porque no habían sido circuncidados por el camino. Y cuando hubieron acabado de circuncidar toda la gente, quedáronse en el mismo lugar en el campo hasta que sanaron. Y Yahweh dijo a Josué, hoy he quitado de vosotros el oprobio de Egipto, por lo cual el nombre de aquel lugar fue llamado Gilgal hasta hoy. Y eso no fueron bebés. Josué no se puso de que, saca a todos los bebés. No, eso eran hombres. ¿Ok? Ok, le mocharon la piel de bim a todos esos hombres. Que tenían más de 8 años más de 8 días, más de 8 años de edad. Ahora, un ejemplo del Nuevo Testamento, porque tú sabes que hay gente que nada más se llevan del Nuevo Testamento, por eso voy a tirar uno aquí. Hechos capítulo 16, versículo 1. Después llegó a Derbe y a Listra, y aquí estaba allí un discípulo llamado Timoteo, hijo de una mujer judía fiel, mas de padre griego. Pero el padre griego era un helenista, ¿ok? Los helenistas eran israelitas que emigraron fuera de Israel a Grecia, ¿ok? Y a través de las generaciones perdieron su identidad hebrea, ya no hablaban hebreo, hablaban griego, y ya no se vestían como israelitas, se vestían como griegos, usaban la moda griega, eran griegos, ¿ok? Eso es como un mexicano que se va para California o pa Texas y después le dicen, no, ya tú eres gringo, güey. O un dominicano que se va para Nueva York y dice, no, ya tú eres un gringo, ya tú eres americano, ya tú no eres dominicano. Ya deja de hablar español, ya está hablando inglés, tiene su moda de Nueva York, ¿sabes? Eso es ese mismo ejemplo, ¿ok? De este daban buen testimonio los hermanos que estaban en Listra y en Iconio. Este quiso Pablo que fuese con él, y tomándole, le circuncidó por causa de los judíos que estaban en aquellos lugares, porque todos sabían que su padre era griego. Y Timoteo es israelita, ¿ok? Si su padre fuera griego, si su padre fuera griego, un griego edomita, ¿ok? Timoteo no sería israelita, porque la nacionalidad se decide por el padre. Si Timoteo no fuera israelita, Pedro no estaría tratando con él y él no hubiera escribido libros de la Biblia. ¿Ok? Porque Yahweh solamente está tratando con los israelitas y sus descendientes físicos en la tierra. ¿Ok? Yahweh no está tratando con las demás naciones. Él solamente está tratando con Israel. Él solamente eligió a Israel. Okay, los gentiles van a estar salvos en el reino cuando se acaben los 1000 años. Los gentiles físicos, okay, los Gawoyam van a estar salvos en el reino después de que pasen 1000 años. Ahí es que ellos van a estar salvos. Pero ellos no van a ser inmortales. Okay, solo los israelitas van a ser inmortales. Los gentiles van a seguir en el ciclo de muerte y reencarnación. Así que este tipo, el doctor Brown, ese tipo más, yo creo que el gobierno lo puso ahí para relajar con nosotros, man. Él está puesto ahí para debatir, para traer confusión. ¿Okay? Y nosotros no estamos en eso. Si tú no crees, nosotros no vamos a perder tiempo contigo. Nosotros no somos como estos evangélicos que los testigos de Jehová que te caen atrás todo el tiempo. Bueno, en Estados Unidos, aquí en República Dominicana, ellos no joden mucho. Pero en Estados Unidos, ellos te tocan la puerta cada sábado o cada domingo. Yo no sé en qué día lo están haciendo ahora, pero cuando yo estaba viviendo en Miami, ellos venían cada rato. ¿Ok? Nosotros no somos como estos cristianos de que siempre cayéndole atrás a uno de que, varón, tú tienes que arrepentirte a su hermano, a su tío, a su primo, tú tienes que arrepentirte, primo, tú tienes... Ey, no, mira, si el tipo no quiere estar en eso, te soltamos en banda, man. Tú estás soltado en banda. Nosotros no jodemos, ¿ok? Si tú no crees que el Señor no te eligió para tú creer. Okay, y este tipo, yo no creo que él ha escogido. Quizás podría ser israelita, no lo sé. Pero yo no creo que este tipo es escogido. Él la mata ahí para la confusión. Yo lo voy a dejar ahí. Si están escuchando en español, shalom. All right, I want to put this short clip right here of Dr. Brown. All right, I mean, if you've been following, if you follow the apostles, the main apostles channels, and some of the elders channels like Elder Yashawamba, this channel, Remnant Saved 144. Sometimes they do videos on this man, and he just says something stupid, all right? He asked a dumb question. I'm gonna bring it back.
Or this debate where Dr. Brown poses a question, and we'll get into it.
Okay, so according to Genesis 17, God says that if you don't circumcise your son on the 8th day, you will be cut off from the people. So you're no longer an Israelite. So many of the people, almost everybody in the chart has no tradition of circumcising their sons on the 8th day through the centuries. So then they're all cut off. They can't be Israel.
I disagree.
Well, the floor is yours. Explain.
I disagree. That's all I'll say. I disagree.
And that's really some dumbass logic. Like, how are you gonna stop being an Israelite just because you're not circumcised? All right, he's being disingenuous with that question. All right, and if he's referring to being cut off as in dying, then that's another thing. All right, because and the apostle and Elder Yashawamba already touched on that. How we're under grace, all right, and you can't keep the laws perfectly, and a lot of brothers came into this truth, man, uncircumcised. I came into this truth uncircumcised. I got circumcised in 2018, man, because Most High put that in my spirit, man. Go, get that skin chopped off. And a lot of brothers, I think a lot of brothers in this camp, all right, in Great Millstone, a lot of brothers, after they came into the truth, they got their circumcision because the Most High put it in their spirit. Because you're supposed to keep the law and believe in Yahweh Bashim al-Shai, but you're keeping the law to the best of your ability. So you're rehearsing the righteous acts. So they already touched on that on the grace. We're on the grace, all right. But I want to go into his argument, all right, because there's even cases against it. All right, so I'm gonna start with Genesis 17. Because he brought up Genesis 17, but in that very chapter, all right, you got Abraham getting circumcised, Genesis 17, starting at verse 24. And Abraham was 90 years old, 90 years old and 99 years old, when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And Ishmael, his son, was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised, and Ishmael his son. And all the men of his house, born in the house and bought with money of the stranger, were circumcised with him. All right, so Abraham, he got circumcised at 99, so why wasn't he cut off? All right, and he's one of the main forefathers of Yasharala. Now we're gonna go into another verse. There's several verses, man. Exodus 4. starting at verse 24. And it came to pass by the way in the inn that Yahweh met him and sought to kill him. All right, and this was because he hadn't circumcised his son. All right, so Exodus chapter 4, verse 24. And it came to pass by the way in the inn that Yahweh met him and sought to kill him. Then Zipporah took a sharp knife, a sharp stone, and cut off the foreskin of her son, and cast it at his feet, and said, Surely a bloody husband art thou to me. So he let him go. Then she said, A bloody husband thou art, because of the circumcision. And the Most High went out to kill Moses' son because it'd been past the time for him to be circumcised. If he had done it before, he wouldn't have gone out there. All right, and then that was Yahweh Shai. All right, that was Yahweh Shai. All right, that went out there to kill him, kill his son. But as soon as he snipped him, he snipped the skin off. I mean, as soon as the wife did it, then Yahweh Shai departed. So what are you talking about that he got cut off because he was past the deadline? When it's talking about the 8th day, it's not talking about that's a deadline. That's a maximum. No, man, that's a minimum. That's the minimum time in which you have to do it. All right. You gotta wait 8 days minimum. All right, here's another case of Israelites getting circumcised past the 8th day. And this was well after the Israelites received the law through Moses. So you can't say, oh, but no, your example of Abraham was before they received the law, and in Exodus 4, Moses hadn't received the law yet. No, okay, so I'm gonna bring this example right here, Joshua chapter 5. Joshua chapter 5, verse 2. And also, there's another example before I read this, that if you're holding the Passover, which only Israelites can hold the Passover, okay? If you're holding a Passover and you got an Israelite stranger among you that's not circumcised, all right, then he has to be circumcised before he can partake of the Passover. So what are you talking about, man? Joshua chapter 5, verse 2. At the time Yahweh said unto Joshua, Make these sharp knives and circumcise again the children of Israel the second time. And Joshua made him sharp knives and circumcised the children of Israel at the hill of the foreskins. And this is the cause why Joshua did circumcise all the people that came out of Egypt that were males, even all the men of war, died in the wilderness by the way, after they came out of Egypt. Now all the people that came out were circumcised, but all the people that were born in the wilderness by the way, as they came forth out of Egypt, them they had not circumcised. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness, till all the people that were men of war, which came out of Egypt, were consumed. because they obeyed not the voice of Yahweh, unto whom Yahweh sware that he would not shew them the land, which Yahweh swore unto their fathers that he would give us, a land that floweth with milk and water. Salaki, a land that floweth with milk and honey. And their children, whom he raised up in their stead, them Joshua circumcised, for they were uncircumcised, because they had not circumcised them by the way. And it came to pass, when they had done circumcising all the people that abode in their places in the camp, till they were whole. And Yahweh said unto Joshua, this day have I rolled away the reproach of Egypt from off you. Wherefore the name of the place is called Gilgal unto this day. So you really think Joshua went around circumcising a whole bunch of Israelite babies? Come on, man. Those were grown men he was circumcising. All right? He went around circumcising grown men. And they weren't cut off. And this was well after they received the law from Moses. So what is this, Dr. Brown? Hey, man, it just... Man, Dr. Brown, for real, man. Come on. Acts chapter 16. And this is a New Testament example, just for you New Testament only people. Acts chapter 16, verse 1. Then came he to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there, named Timotheus, the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewess, and believed, but his father was a Greek. All right, and this is not talking about a Gentile, a physical Gentile Greek. No, this is talking about a Hellenistic Israelite, a Hellenistic Greek, which is an Israelite that migrated out of Israel to live in Greece and took up the customs of the Greeks. All right. So they took up the customs of the Greeks so much that, they adopted their fashion. They dressed like them. They talked like them. They spoke Greek. They forgot the holy days. They don't observe the holy days and all of that. Verse 2, which was well reported of by the brethren that were at Lystra and Iconium. Him would Paul have to go forth with him, and took and circumcised them because of the Jews which were in those quarters, for they knew all that his father was a Greek. So basically they treated him like, he's not, they treated Israelites, Hellenistic Israelites, like they weren't Israelites because they weren't living in Israel anymore, because they forgot their identity. It's like when Jake in the Caribbean or in other countries, they go to, they finally get their visas and they go to America, and then when they come back to their home countries to visit, they tell them, oh man, you're not you're an American now. You're not Jamaican anymore. You're not Cuban. You're not Dominican anymore. And that's another way you could tell you Jake, because Jake always clowning on people when they come back from the States on vacation, man. It happens in Mexico, happens here in DR. So, back then they were doing the same thing. All right. And Timothy, he's an Israelite. That's more proof that he's an Israelite. He wrote books, all right, in the New Testament. The Most High is not going to take no heathen to write his holy scriptures. All right. So Timothy is an Israelite. And for him to be circumcised after the 8th day, why wasn't he cut off? Why wasn't he cut off? So really, man, we're under grace, all right? Because you can't keep these laws perfectly. The Most High said, "Hey, if you're guilty of one, of breaking one law, you broke all the law." So that's sin. Breaking the law is sin. So that's, you're guilty of death. We're all guilty of death, all right? But we depend on the grace of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Kahalal La Yahweh Bahasam Yahushai Bahasam Rakakwadash Barakati Yahweh Barakati Yahushai Barakati Yahweh Barakati Yahushai Barakati Yahweh Barakati Yahushai the water Yahweh Bahasam Yahushai Bahasam Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, to the elders of Yasharala, Great Millstone, Shalom to the elect, Abad Babal, Abad Kau Gawiyam, Abad Kau Adawamium, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.